There are many different ways of measuring organizational climate. It depends upon your purpose. If you are doing it for research studies, normally you come up with a comprehensive tool measuring the organizational climate. For this purpose, you normally should interview all the people and ask them what, in their view, constitutes the most important parts of the organizational climate. Keep noting down what are your concerns, what do you like here, what you don't like here, how do you characterize this climate now or a few years before, and how would you like it to be, and so on. So, just about 3 to 4 questions you can ask them and then keep recording and create a large number of statements and then constitute a questionnaire. You can also prepare a questionnaire on the basis of your theoretical perspective. If you are a motivational theorist, you will have a motivational climate questionnaire. If you are interested in HRD, you will have a HRD climate questionnaire. If you are interested in any other format, I think you start with your own conceptual kind of a background. Once you have identified the items, I think there are again different methods of measuring the organizational climate. The simplest way to measure, which is most popular way, is Likert scale. You arrange all the items and according to maybe some a priori dimensions or dimensions later, you can do a factor analysis and put them under different factors, like items dealing with personal policies, work conditions, supervisory behavior, physical climate, etc. etc. You can have all of those. So once you have these items, you can use simply Likert scale. It's a 5-point scale where you ask each person to rate on 5 points, 5 representing this is the most characteristic and 1 representing not at all characteristic, or almost always true, not at all true, and things like that. So use a 5-point scale, Likert scale. If you have fewer number of dimensions, you can use a ranking method where you can put, let us say, if you have just 15 items of organizational climate, you can ask the person to rank number 1 to most characteristic item and rank number 15 to the least characteristic item. So this is a kind of a ranking method. You can also use bipolar adjectives. Divide all the questions into bipolar adjectives, like for example, friendly, unfriendly, uh, uh, positive, negative, participative, autocratic, etc. Bipolar adjectives you can use and ask people, use a 7-point scale and then ask people to rate, put a tick mark at the adjective that is closest to whatever uh, they believe in. You can also simply ask people to write down a few adjectives which describe the climate, and then you can ask them to write adjectives which least describe the climate and so on. So this becomes a little difficult to quantify later, but this is a good way when you ask a large number of people to do that. Another way of doing it is to simply ask an open-ended question and ask people to write an essay on the organizational climate of the organization and so on. From the essay, you can cull out a few statements and say these are the most frequently mentioned statements and things like that. It all depends upon what is the methodology, what is the purpose, and things like that. We always believed in generating organizational climate items through a method of participation. Whether we have done it for medical colleges studying the college environment or management schools, we used to go to ask the faculty and the students and ask them to describe what in their view characterizes the climate of that particular institution. The same way we have done in NDDB, we have done in EID Parry, we have done in TI Group. Anywhere we studied organizational climate, we used to go and ask people to describe the organization, then do a little bit of editing, construct a questionnaire, and later administer to a large number of people so that you get a view of what is the most frequently identified characteristic of the climate and so on. These are just very quick thoughts on measuring organizational climate. I hope you will find this useful, and you can certainly refer to our book on measuring organizational climate by T.S. Sarupriya, myself and Dr. Seth Madhav, available at Academy of HRD. All the best from TV RNS. Thank you.